Hello, this is Lisa from Happy Stamp, and today we are going to be making this card. This is using some of the new product in the holiday catalog. So let's go ahead and get started. You are going to need a piece of Whisper White that is 5 by 3 3/4. A piece of Basic Black that is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and a piece of Pumpkin Pie that is 5 1/4 by 4. And also for the card base, we're using Perfect Plum, and that is 4 1/4 by 11. And we are going to bring in our Simply Scored. And I am going to score that at 5 1/2. All right. Take our bone folder and we will give that a good press to get a good crease. Alright, then I'm going to take my piece of Whisper White with my Pear Pizzazz ink, and we're just going to do a little backwash on the Whisper White. And you want to do this very lightly because this is not watercolor paper, so it is going to soak in. But if you do it, just don't go over it a lot, it'll be fine. So what I did to get the ink to pool on the lid, I just opened it, and then I gave this a push, and then opened it like that. And then I'm taking one of our aqua painters, and I don't want this too wet, 'cause like I said, you don't want to completely saturate your paper. We don't want it to pill. So we're just doing this lightly. All right. I'm going to set that aside. To clean off your aqua painter, just rub it on your paper until you get all the ink off the bristles. We're going to close that up. I'm going to set this aside to dry. If I need to, I can always zap it with my heat tool to get it dry faster. In the meantime, I'm going to take a scrap of Pumpkin Pie, and the stamp set that I am using is called Jar of Haunts. I'm going to use this mummy jar and this pumpkin. I am using a couple of other stamp sets also. This stamp set is in our main catalog, and it's Jar of Love, and it does come with framelits. I'm not using them today, but you can get this set in a bundle in the main catalog. And then the other stamp set is called Sweet Seasons, and I'm going to use this Vampires, Witches, and Ghosts, Oh My, for the inside. All right, so we will... Got dark here all of a sudden. I'm going to take the pumpkin from that image and a scrap piece of Pumpkin Pie with my Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'm going to stamp that. And then I'm going to take the little face that is from the same stamp set. Little jack-o'-lantern face, and again my Memento, goodness, I can't talk today, my Memento Tuxedo Black, and I'm going to put that right in the middle of the pumpkin. And this one does pretty good without having the mat. But if it didn't, you would want to use your piercing mat and put that down and stamp on it. All right, so now I am going to take my paper snips and I am just going to fussy cut this out. This does not take very long. It's just more or less an oval. And I'm going right up to the line. I'm not leaving or trying not to leave any border at all. Okay, so I had a little interruption there, so I just finished cutting out my pumpkin. And let's see. I'm just going to give this a little bit of heat. And you don't want to put it on. Oh, don't know where that came from. Good thing it's on the back. And it is going to warp a little bit, but we're going to be putting it down with some white glue, so it'll be fine. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take my jar mummy with the Memento ink again. Get that good and inked up. Make sure the eyes are good. And this one I am going to use my mat. And we're going to put this down at the bottom on the left-hand side. Just give it a good press, but don't rock. Okay. Now from the Jar of Love stamp set, I'm going to use this branch right here, and I'm going to use these flowers, and then these are the middle of the flowers. So I'm going to take my Pear Pizzazz again. Going to put my stem, kind of lay my stem on here. Okay, and I think I probably should have done this first, but we'll see what happens. I think I should have done my stems first. I think that's the way I did it last time, but I honestly don't remember. So we'll just put, doesn't show up too bad on the black. And then one more over here. All right. Then I'm going to take my little flowers. And this stamp is 2 flowers on 1 stamp set, so I'll just stamp that on here. Oops, let's Make sure I get it good and inked up here. All right, I want to make sure that I don't have any ink where I don't want it. Okay. I have to bring this closer to me because I want these to line up with the tops of the stem. And then I'm going to hold that down for a few seconds. Make sure that the ink soaks in the paper. Not too bad. I got a little off right there, but that's okay. You can always take your marker and just draw it right in there. Just like that. Okay. And then, so that was Perfect Plum. Now I'm going to take my pumpkin pie and I'm just going to ink up the larger flower, so just one of the flowers. Just want to make sure you don't have any ink where you don't want it. If you do, just wipe it off. All right, so we are going to put this one right here. And again, I'm letting it soak into the paper. There we go. I'm going to take my black again and the insides of the flowers. And mounting those on my block. And I'm going to bring this closer to me again. And then these just go in the middle of the flowers. And I'm going to ink up the larger inside again. Just the inside of the larger one if I can. Okay, just had to wipe a little bit off there. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to take, I'm going to take a little mask that I made because I'm going to put this pumpkin right here, but I'm going to have it raised up with a dimensional. So I want to stamp the top part of the pumpkin, the little leaves and the little viney thing. And for that, I'm going to use Early Espresso. So I put the mask on there to help me get my placement. Now on this sample, I used Pear Pizzazz and an Early Espresso marker. And I'm not crazy about that, this just kind of blends right in here. So I thought I would try it with the Early Espresso. Okay. So get that good and inked up. I gotta bring it it down, sorry. All right, that's not too bad. Now we can take this off. I'm going to use that in a second. And we can put our pumpkin on here with some dimensionals. I'm just using up my ends here. And we'll put our pumpkin right on here. I think we need to move it down just a hair. Just not having luck today. So I'm going to take the Early Espresso and do the same thing. I'm going to get a little ink in the lid. Okay, so I'm going to take just a little bit of this and fill in the stem. And then very lightly, with hardly any at all, I'm just going to fill in this leaf because I didn't like how it was. The green will kind of come through. There, I think I like that better. Clean off my brush. All right, so for the Happy Halloween, that I'm doing in the Memento again. All right, and I'm just going to stamp that right about here. No rocking, even pressure, straight down and straight up. Okay. All right. I am going to get my liquid glue. I'm going to put some glue on the back of this. I am going to be kind of generous because it is a little warped. You do not need this much glue normally. And I'm going to get my basic black piece and put that on first. And then you can kind of wiggle it around to get an even border on all four sides. And then smooth it out. Okay. And again, we'll put some more liquid glue. On our pumpkin pie piece. Again, wiggling it in so we get an even border on all four sides. And then next we will take our piece of Perfect Plum with some more liquid glue. And we're going to have about 1/8 of an inch border on all four sides. Okay. Now I'm going to take our new Halloween enamel dots And I'm just going to use my scissors. And I think I'll take, so this is Perfect Plum. And we have Old Olive and Pumpkin Pie. All right. And then you're going to need another piece of Whisper White that is 4 by 5 1/4. And I know I've told you before, but I cut up about a half a ream of Whisper White into card fronts or insides that are 4 and 5 1/4. And then that way I don't have to do it every time. So I have some in Whisper White, Very Vanilla, and Basic Black. And I just keep them in our cases like this. So we're going to take from the Sweet Seasons this Vampires, Witches, and Ghosts, Oh My, and the Tuxedo Black again. And this is a linen pad, so you kind of got to smush and tap, tap, tap. And I see I have some right on the edge here, so I'm just going to wipe that off. I don't want that on my card. Okay. And then I line this up on my grid paper and stamp down in the middle. This one we don't need our mat because it's lined in rubber or a foam on rubber. Okay. It's a little crooked, but it's okay. Then I will take some Fast Fuse, put that just at the top, and set that on the inside of my card. And we want to leave an even border on all 4 sides. So I definitely like this one better with the brown leaf as opposed to the green leaf. Leave me a comment below and tell me which one you like better. So on September 1st, you'll be able to purchase all of these supplies in our great new holiday catalog at www.happystamp.stampinup.net. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment below. I'll be happy to answer them. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.